Let's talk about something really fascinating in nutritional neuroscience, the MIND diet. Now, this isn't just another trendy eating plan. It's actually a carefully constructed hybrid that takes the Mediterranean and DASH diets and specifically targets brain health. The researchers behind this weren't just throwing darts at a board. They systematically identified which foods from each pattern showed the strongest evidence for preventing Alzheimer's and cognitive decline. Here's what makes this interesting. The MIND diet cherry-picks elements that matter most for your brain. From the Mediterranean side, you get the emphasis on olive oil and fatty fish. Those omega-3s and polyphenol are crucial for neuronal health. But then it incorporates DASH's focus on berries and leafy greens, which have specific benefits for reducing oxidative stress in brain tissue. The science here is pretty solid. We're looking at foods that cross the blood-brain barrier and actually influence neuroinflammation and amyloid plaque formation. The implementation protocol is more specific than you might expect. Daily consumption of leafy greens is non-negotiable. We're talking at least one serving every single day. Nuts become a daily staple, not an occasional snack. Berries need to appear at least twice weekly, and whole grains form the carbohydrate foundation. Fish shows up twice a week minimum, and poultry becomes your primary meat source. Now here's where it gets restrictive, and this matters. You're actively limiting red meat to fewer than 4 servings weekly, butter to less than a tablespoon daily, cheese, fried foods, and sweets to minimal amounts. What's really compelling is how this differs from just following Mediterranean or DASH alone. The MIND diet is more forgiving than DASH when it comes to sodium restriction, but stricter than Mediterranean about specific brain foods. You're not just eating healthy, you're targeting particular pathways involved in neurodegeneration. The emphasis on berries, for instance, comes from specific research showing anthocyanins in blueberries and strawberries may reduce cognitive decline more effectively than other fruits. But let's be realistic about some concerns. The research, while promising, is still evolving. Most studies are observational, which means we can't definitively say the diet prevents Alzheimer's. Only that people who eat this way show lower rates of cognitive decline. There's also the adherence challenge. This diet requires consistency over years, probably decades, to show protective effects. You can't just do it for 6 months and expect your brain to be bulletproof. Biomarker tracking can help keep you accountable. Monitoring homocysteine levels, inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, and potentially getting omega-3 index testing gives you feedback. Some practitioners recommend B vitamin supplementation, particularly B6, B12, and folate, since these influence homocysteine metabolism and are critical for brain health. The weekly meal templates need to become habitual. Think of it as creating a rhythm where certain foods appear with predictable regularity. That structure actually makes adherence easier than trying to reinvent your meals constantly. The evidence suggests that even moderate adherence, getting maybe 7 or 8 of the recommended components right, still provides meaningful cognitive protection compared to typical Western eating patterns. For anyone concerned about brain health as they age, and that should be everyone, the MIND diet represents one of the most evidence-based nutritional approaches we currently have.